What's going on, y'all? So listen, girl, what's going on? First of all, let me shut up because I don't even want to do that because y'all already know. I be lying. My stomach hurts so bad. I'm cramping, girl. I am. Okay, I can't barely sit up straight, So we gonna make it do what it do. But girl, first of all, I hope y'all doing great. I really hope y'all are doing so well. Let me tell you what my dumbass did this morning. I'm getting ready for work. Okay, I'm getting ready for work. I probably got like a good 5 minutes before I'm about to leave, and I said, "Oh no, let me go ahead and shave my face a little bit." Okay, the PCSO, the PCOS girl, PCOS girls, we know what it is. Okay, sometimes you got to shave a little bit of the stuff down. Okay, and I was like, "Oh, I'm feeling a little fuzzy. Let me go ahead and shave this down a little bit." Girl, I'm doing. Get right here and bitch. Do you see that? Do you see that? I don't know how the razor somehow got angled to the point where it sliced. At least I thought it nicked my nose until I saw all of the blood that was coming out of it. And that kept going and going and going and going. I said, all of this, oh my God, all of this from just a little nick. Girl, when it finally stopped, you saw, girl, I peeled that thing off like it was goddamn potato. Okay, and the razor was the potato peeler. I said, oh my goodness, I was up here skinning my nose. What was going on? I said, oh my God, I'm at work with the just dripping. I said, Lord have mercy. Because I wasn't finna call out. Okay, I called out earlier this week. Can't call out 2 days in a row. Okay, can't do that. I was like, oh my goodness, what is happening? But and mind you, I had to get on the phone with my mama and I told her what happened. And this lady gonna say something. Well, at least you know the razor was sharp. I'm about to panic because my nose won't stop bleeding, and you gonna tell me something. Well, at least you know the razor was sharp. Excuse me. You know what? But I'm all right. Okay, I'm all right. I'm all right. But anyway, let's just get up into some mess because right before I was about to leave work, all of a sudden I opened up the Instagram, and why is there a video? A video with the headline said, "Like a thief in the night." RHOP star Mia Thornton arrested in Atlanta airport for larceny, allegedly stole $11,000 worth of furniture and electronics. I said, what? Oh, Lord have mercy. Mind you, when this whole situation came up with Mia, not Mia, but with Wendy, I said, girl, I was surprised that Mia didn't get locked up first. And sure enough, I think I spoke that out there. My bad, Mia. I mean, I kind of felt it was coming. Okay, no shade, no shade. Some people just give scammer teas. Some people give gutter butt teas. Some people give I do anything to get by teas. And Mia gives all of those. Okay, and I'm not saying that it's a bad thing. Depending on the situation, it's really not. It's understandable, but you just gotta live in your truth. Now listen, we knew. Well, at least I knew Mia wasn't it. Okay, she wasn't ish when she got up here playing around with Gordon and his mental illness that was going on, his little bipolarism, okay, and flying that man around with her, and then to get up off the show, go down to Atlanta and break up with him and get with Bobby V? Slow down. Wait a minute. What? Girl, back that shit back up. Now we hearing the report, and let me read to y'all exactly what they said went down. Okay. They said the details are interesting. According to the incident report, Mia and a man by the name of Jared McGriff, who the hell is that, were meant, is that Bobby? No, Bobby Valentino. Jared McGriff were renting out a furnished condo that actually was owned by a woman who lived in China. The reporting party says that Mia decided to move out one night in late October without notifying anyone and took all that lady's furniture with her, okay? Even took the little $650 television. Baby, That lady said, absolutely not. She filed that report and she said, get that bitch, okay? Because I want my stuff. And then in the video, she talked about, son, can I just get the furniture back? No, girl. Now, see, let me tell you something. I don't know which one is more embarrassing. All of the details that we got from Wendy scamming and all that stuff. And maybe because we expected way more from Wendy because, you know, smart, 4 degrees, and then the husband is a lawyer as well. Or Mia stealing this little bit of $11,000, stealing that lady furniture, and then the body cam footage come out of you getting arrested in the goddamn airport and walked through the airport with them handcuffs on. Which one is more embarrassing, baby? I would feel like that one. I don't know. Like, what is going on with the housewives, y'all? And specifically at this point, Real Housewives of Potomac, because y'all going for a record. Y'all going for a record. 3 of you hoes on that goddamn show that got arrested for something. And all 3 different charges, okay? Karen for a DUI, baby. They was having a standing ovation for Karen down there at the BravoCon. Now listen, I'm okay with the lady being out. But do I feel like she deserves all the praise that she's getting or whatever? Absolutely not. The lady could have killed somebody. Are we rewarding bad behavior? What is going on? I'm so confused. But then you got Wendy up here scamming, doing, fraud, insurance fraud. You know, they say that it's a victimless crime. At least I look at it that way. But, you know, the people on the other end, they say that it's really not. I don't want to make exceptions. Wrong is wrong. It's wrong. Okay? I ain't too mad at it. I'm just mad that she did it the way that she did it. Girl, you are Nigerian. You supposed to do better. No shade. No shade. That's no offense. Because, you know, just like Stacey, I have an affinity for the Nigerians too, because I'm a little bit of Nigerian too. You know, y'all my cousins, we related. It is what it is. My DNA is your DNA, okay? But listen, and I'm only bringing that up because I got something else I want to talk about right after this. Speaking of the Nigerians, because I just don't understand. Girl, and now you got Mia up here doing larceny. Stealing in Atlanta of all places. Girl, ain't that the scamming capital of the goddamn United States of these Americas? One of them, child. Mia, Bobia. I know Gordon like, girl, what? Is that my wife? Are we divorced? Girl, it's always so good lately. But yeah, girl, listen, I know her oldest is embarrassing shit. Because every time we hear about Mia, we don't ever hear about her with the kids. Especially that oldest one. So you just hopping from, like, are you still with Bobby V? Are you still with Bobby V? Like, are you hopping from man to man? Like, what is going on? Mia moves like a scammer. I'm just going to honestly say it. I feel like she scammed her way onto the Real Housewives of Potomac. Am I mad at it? Absolutely not. You know, you got to do what you got to do. But at the same time, just be real with it. And see, this is what you get when you start laughing at another person downfall or little incident, because then she have a little chuckle at Wendy and her situation. And now look at you. Probably 2 months later, and you in the same goddamn position, bitch. But anyway, yeah, Andy, are you calling the feds or what's going on? But hey, we shall see what's going on with that. And the reason why I said let's put a pin in the Nigerian conversation, because I don't know if you girls, let me tell you something. I feel like this time, I feel like if something interesting happens on TikTok, I'm going to be up here every week telling y'all about what's on TikTok until y'all asses get on TikTok so y'all can see for yourself. Because it's a whole nother jungle over there, baby. And you just be sitting there like, girl, what? People will tell you all of their business. All of their business. And then get mad because the people are not on their side. The people are not on their side, okay? And then you got the ones that are on their side being like, you shouldn't judge because this could happen to you. No, it can't. And no, it won't. You want to know why? Because I got a sense of discernment, okay? And I got common fucking sense. And I know how to use fucking Google, bitch. It's 2025. And I'm saying all of this because on TikTok, remember when we all brought to you the Who the Fuck Did I Marry by Risa Tisa? That 100,000 part thing that I actually said, I can't believe I watched all that shit. You know, shout out to her. I'll never do it again after this, okay? And truth be told, I'm surprised I went on ahead and watched all of this. This girl, Onike something, a Nigerian girl, okay? She was on The Bachelor at one point. I think either she was on The Bachelor or The Bachelorette. Which one of those? I think it was The Bachelor, okay? She was on one of those shows, all right? Pretty dark, pretty brown skin Nigerian lady. And she was up here living in Dallas, okay? She's in Dallas. And if you've been on TikTok, you probably come across the thing or people talking about the Danish deception. It wasn't no goddamn deception. She was just stupid, okay? And I hate to say, they be like, don't victim blame. At one point, that does ring true. But in this situation, I don't feel like she was no victim. She was a victim of herself. Because let me tell you something. When people get into a situation because they want to be in the proximity of something and they will continue to go through the bullshit just so that they can be in that's exactly what was going on in this situation. This girl traveled out into a European country, saw this guy who was Danish, okay? She told us and let us know. She was like, oh my God, I looked at him and I was just like, oh my God, I just the most beautiful person ever with his blonde hair, his blue eyes, his this. I said, I can see where this is going. So she was so taken aback by this man, fell in love with this man within a week or so, okay? They chatting it up, going on IGs and all this stuff, and she coming out there to visit him. He coming out there to visit her. She ain't never been to his actual house. He's been in her place. Okay. Oh, I'm in real estate. She's in real estate. This man told her that he had a royal Danish title. So his family was part of the royal family out there in Denmark. I said, and then said that he was an Olympian and he went to the Olympics twice. He didn't really get up there and do anything. He was like the bench warmer to the bench warmer, but he still won a bronze medal and a gold medal. I bring those two things up because you can easily Google all of that. Did this girl do that? No, she didn't do none of that. Not only did she not Google who this man was, he gave her a website, to basically look up the fact that he had this royal title. And she didn't do anything other than that. She took the website that he had. And she was so stupid because, first of all, you don't know this man. He gave you a website that could have, as soon as you open it up, could have just downloaded all your information and just took everything that you had right then and there, okay? People are crafty these days like that. Put that to the side. Still didn't Google this man. This man wound up asking her for $6,000. She winds up giving him $6,000. Mind you, I don't even think they've been together or talking for a whole full fucking month. Why are we asking each other for money? Or no, why are you asking me for this large sum of money? At this point, that's a large sum of money when I just don't know you. I don't know nothing about you. Then all of a sudden you say, I love you. Then you getting married. You eloping. Okay, like, girl, what is going on? You never go to his house. Then you find out this man then convinced you to freaking, God damn it. What is it? Leave your job. You're using up all your savings because all of a sudden he has IRS debt. His daddy got $2 million in IRS debt. The daddy kept on getting sick and all of this stuff and yada. And he got to go get some surgery for this and he got to get money for this and he need money for that. Can I borrow this? Can I borrow that? Then borrow $200,000 from another friend of his, whatever. And he was gambling it the way. So they say. I don't know if the man really had a gambling addiction or whatever, but at the same time, this girl was dumb. She was addicted to wanting to be wanted, addicted to wanting to be in a relationship to a white person. It was all given. She stayed in this whole situation because she wanted that proximity to whiteness. And she very much gives that her friends that was up there with her, because I don't know no black friends that's going to be just letting all this shit slide like this when you telling them what's going on and why you need all this money and all this stuff or whatever. Like, girl, what? She gives the type of person that will have white friends and want to be in the know and have more white friends than anybody else. Allowed this man to come into her home, allowed this man to get close to her family enough to the point where he has asked and took money from the her father, her sisters, her cousin, friends, all of that. All of them people in her circle took money from them all, thousands of dollars, because he asked for it. Baby, we're never going to get that close that you can be able to ask me for some money. I don't know you like that. Why did he have all that access to your people like that, right? And then flip the script. Bitch, got a green card finally. Then tried to open up a bank account and was lying about, because she was still waiting on the money that he owed her. Mind you, they're married. Still lying about the bank account. Girl, she went and found a way to get into the bank account and found out that motherfucker only had 34 cents. And do you know that she still stayed with him when she found out that he had a gambling addiction? When he so-called relapsed each and every time. When he had to sell off this and didn't have the money and all this stuff. Was lying about paying for the money. Paying the mama back for the goddamn wedding and all this stuff that they was gonna have. Bitch, and she still went on ahead and said, I'ma stick by you. All these red flags was just beating her ass in the goddamn face, girl. Beating her ass in the face. And do you know that this man got fed up with her coming to him and saying, bitch, did you ask me for money, or where's the money at and all this stuff? That he says, you know what? I don't want nothing else to do with you. We getting a divorce. And she said, don't do that. Don't do that. And I was just like, wow, this is where it's I can't have empathy. You know, people want to be like, let a victim come out and say their story. And I understand that, but you got to be prepared when you see that you are doing something dumb. And I know hindsight is 20/20, but that woman would not have left that man had he not ended it the way that he ended it. Okay? She would have stayed because she stayed through all of that stuff. And sometimes we got to wake the fuck up. Bitch, I said, first of all, it was actually kind of boring. I ain't even going to hold you. It was a little bit boring because I said, girl, get to the good part. Then come to find out they said that the girl is she's a Trumper. She was a Republican guy. I said, let me get off of this shit. Okay? Let me get off of this shit. And she was Nigerian. A Nigerian lady. And she said this herself. Nigerians, you know, they known for the scamming. And your ass got scammed by a Danish white man who lied about being royalty. Okay? Who lied about saying that he was in a relationship, and his last relationship he had been out of it for 4 months. Come to find out, for at least 4 of those months, he was still in that relationship while he was with you. Bitch. I cannot. TikTok is something else, bitch. Okay? Girl, I stumbled on another story about this lady found out that her mama and her mama brother was having an affair with each other, and they had been doing this since they was 14 years old. Bitch, let me tell you something. Get off of my timeline. Get off of my timeline with all of this disgusting shit. And speaking of disgusting shit, bitch, Epstein! Right after the What It Is last week, girl, it came out, them emails, some of them emails was like, 20,000 emails and all that stuff. Girl, mind you, these ain't even the files yet. These are just emails, okay? Because Miss Gurley, Adelita, Representative Adelita, she done got sworn in, and she said, yeah, we gonna vote and go ahead and I'm that 218th vote that we need to put this shit to the House. Okay, we go vote. And they said, yeah, we gonna do this shit, right? Now, first, after all of this whole time, this man has been trying so hard, because that was the whole reason why it took forever to get Adelita sworn in, because they was trying, because they knew that she was gonna be the deciding factor and was going to say, go ahead and release them, vote to release the fucking files and all of that stuff, right? Okay, so now you did all this pushback for all these years or whatever about this goddamn file, and then it gets to a point that all of a sudden you want to come out and say to the House of Representatives, y'all, go ahead and vote for it. Go ahead and vote to release it, because it is what it is at this point. I ain't got nothing to hide. Bitch, you was over there sweating bullets, especially when them emails came out about the stuff, the dealings with Russia, the dealing with Bubba. Girl, they said Bubba was supposed to be Clinton. And then they saying no, his brother, Epstein brother, came out and said, no, it ain't Clinton. And then somebody said that Ghislaine ass had a horse named Bubba. And I said, bitch, what the fuck are y'all talking about? Like, somebody give me the real story, okay? I said, what? So all we know is Trump allegedly did something with somebody named Bubba. Now we don't know if somebody is a somebody or is it a thing. I don't know what it is. Okay, but we had a good time. I said, "Oh my goodness, Bubba, Bill Clinton, Donica Lewinsky, bitch." But put all that aside, he's a filthy, disgusting person, right? And it's people that follow him through and through regardless. And when they put that vote to the House, I was so surprised that 426, I believe, people in that whole House of Representatives said yes to go ahead and release those files, and only one said no. Some guy named Clay Higgins or whatever. Mind you, I think he had his own scandal with some underage people. I said, there it is. There it is. They running packs, okay? They all running goddamn packs. And speaking of, listen, Nicki Minaj forever will want to be on. I just never ever thought that this would be like, this is basically, I don't know. Is this a downfall or whatever? I never thought she would go out like this, because you're supporting, quote unquote, and you're not really supporting because you don't know what you're supporting with this whole propaganda that's going on with it's supposed to be us trying to support and help the Christians over there in Nigeria that's going through persecution and all this stuff, whatever. And I just find it really, really funny and ironic how all of a sudden she lends her voice and she lends her support right off the bat to this situation. Whereas, has she come out? Because I mean, you could correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. I'm open to it, because I don't follow the lady. I have a block, and I'm genuinely asking, did she come out in support for the people who were struggling, doing the layoffs, doing the shutdown, doing the indecisiveness of the SNAP benefits, doing all of the stuff that's been going on to black people in this country? Has she been doing anything about that? The country that she resides. Because y'all know she's not an American, okay? Okay, and that's fine, but you lending your support. We can lend our support to whoever, but you're making this vocalized and with a party who is known to use black folks and people of color for their own advantage to make a point. You're being used, okay? And this is not going to end well, because you don't even know what the real issue is and how all of what's going on in this backing, how it's so messed up. It's so deep, and I know that she didn't look into it. And I'm just like, I'm honestly not confused, but I just know that her fans, they're not gonna wake up and be like, well, I'm not supporting her anymore because of this, because they're gonna do whatever it is that she wants them to, and that's scary. That's scary. Okay, listen. I tell you this and I tell you this right here, right now, and you can hear it out my motherfucking mouth. I love me some Beyonce, but let Beyonce and Jay-Z come out and it's definitive proof that they got dealings, like true hardcore dealings within that shit. Oh, I'm done. I can't do that shit. And y'all ain't never hear me say nothing like that. Y'all ain't never hear me say nothing like that. But when I say I'm done with it, I will be done with it, okay? Because this ain't what I'm here for. And then people want to say, separate this. No, I don't understand. I'm not a person that can separate the art from the person or the this from the that. No, because that's all of them. The person is the art. The person is the creativity. The person is the one that's giving us this. The person, all of that is them. So how can I separate that from them? So you mean, no. Because then what would it be? You can't do that. And I don't know how you can do that, because I just can't. But yeah, that's just really, it is what it is with Nicki. Whatever. Yeah, she'll see soon. Okay. Speaking of, let me talk about something that's actually important to Chicago news. Okay, congratulations to Cardi. She didn't have her baby. And she actually had it probably, I think, on the 13th or something like that. She had it toward the end of whenever we saw her, when she popped out on IG and her stomach was flat a little bit, she probably had the baby like a week before that. Okay. And so, congratulations to the little baby boy. Offset, leave that lady alone. I don't believe that story talking about his thing was hacked. It was some people that was up there putting false posts up there talking about the kid is mine or some shit like that. I do feel like he's still harassing that lady, and that's just a shame, okay? Because at the end of the day, how are you in your feelings that woman finally woke up and said, I'm done with you, and she permanently put a stamp on it by going with somebody else and getting pregnant by him, and you can't move on when you've been cheating and doing all of the other shit that you've been doing throughout that whole relationship when you was with her from top to bottom, okay? Like, come on. Y'all be so silly with it sometimes, but fuck all that. Let me get into some shit that actually been going on that we need to put some attention on. First of all, out here in Chicago, let me tell you something. I don't know. Listen, Chicago get a bad rap, as it is already. Chicago get a bad rap as it is already. Every time somebody say something about Chicago, oh my God, you're going to Chicago. They're this, they're that. You're not going to be scared. You got to be safe and all this stuff. And I be on here like, girl, ain't nothing going on out here like that. Yeah, everybody got their own things that happen in every city. You got their little bad parts, but you coming out here to Chicago, you ain't coming out to visit this block or that block. You ain't coming to the hood. 9 out of 10, you're coming to downtown and to the touristy parts. I say that all the time, right? And then you get that one fucking story in that one goddamn incident that just makes you want to be like, so embarrassed, so disappointed. Okay? A few days ago, I seen the story about this woman, 33 years old, and I seen the video. I have never been so disgusted in my life. Okay? We're going to get serious for a second. Put all the laughing and shit to the side, because this ain't no joking matter. This is terrible. This is disgusting. This woman, who we thought she was pregnant, but from what I found it out, the people were saying she had literally just got out the hospital. And she got sickle cell anemia. Now, at first, I asked her, heard that she was pregnant, but then they said that that's not the case. This woman, 33 years old, she do look fragile, she do look frail, just got out the hospital dealing with sickle cell anemia, having to go pick up her kids from school because at least one of her children, her son, had been getting bullied for over 2 years at this school. He is autistic, okay? She is walking down the street being the mother bear that she is supposed to be, protecting her children, taking her children to their home. And as they're walking, it's a crowd of fucking middle schoolers right behind her, talking all this junk, being disrespectful as shit, and then attack this woman and her children. And then had the nerve to live stream all of this, record the video, whatever, put it online. And I don't know, did you think that you putting this shit online was going to garner you some cool points and or world star or, oh, look at this, bitch. Let me tell you something. This ain't fucking baddies. This ain't fucking Zeus. Them motherfuckers on them goddamn cameras over there on them network, they need to be in jail too. But see, they get paid to do the dumb shit that they do. All right? They get paid to act a fucking fool. No real consequences come to them because they protected by the fucking network, because that's what they supposed to be doing. That's what they're getting paid. That's what they signed up for. You're in the fucking real world. And I blame the fucking parents too, because the parents are the ones that's letting them have the access to this shit. And as I'm seeing some of the people that's coming out with their children who have been found putting up videos saying apologize, and that one bitch that said, respect my child, she is a child. Fuck your child. And I hate to say it like that. Don't tell us to fucking give her respect when she didn't give that lady respect. A grown woman. I don't care if y'all the same height or if you bigger than the lady. That was a grown woman. That was a mother. The way that she had to hold and her kids all up in her arms and she falling onto the ground because they done pushed her, hitting her all up on the gate to the point where she's trying to get free and still protect her kids and shield her kids, and she's on the ground and y'all are beating her up. But you want, and your daughter was the goddamn ringleader, bitch. And then you want us to respect your child, and you trying to Kamaya, bitch, and you trying to tell us to the respect. Girl, fuck that. Respect went out the window when all of this shit was recorded and when she put her hands on that lady. And when all of the motherfucking kids put their hands on that lady. Okay? And then when the little bitch is up there, and I hate to even say it like this because these are kids. But see, when you want to do adult shit, I'm going to treat you like a fucking adult. All right? Don't get in my comments talking about something. But they still fuck that. And this is goddamn Chicago, bitch. Okay? You want to act like a goddamn adult, bitch, we're going to treat you like one. All right? You putting your hands on people for what? Then she get on the camera and she trying to start doing an apology. She said, come on, what you want to say? And then this little bitch is trying to shield back and hold back laughter. And the whole time that she up here trying to wipe her eyes and make herself cry. She's not sorry for the shit. The mama don't even seem that pissed off. Because I swear to God, if my mama, they don't have fucking, this is what happens when you got young kids having kids. Because I guaranteed you, the majority of those kids' parents, they had them when they probably was teenagers themselves, okay? Or they was in dysfunctional households themselves. They didn't let them kids grow up with fucking respect, okay? Because why is your kids out here acting this way? I understand peer pressure is a motherfucker, but if you raised your kid well enough, they'll know to be like, absolutely not. I don't want to partake in that, okay? Like, come on, none of us are innocent. We went to school. We was cussing up a storm at school amongst each other. Some of y'all badasses probably cussed out a teacher too. But did we put our hands on the teacher? Hell, I had teachers that cussed us out. If you went to Libby, okay, and you had Miss Ford, bitch, Miss Ford came in and cussed us out one time because we had tricked on her. Well, I didn't say nothing. They did. But, we couldn't stand her for a second. And we went and told, they told the principal, you see how I'm excluding myself, because I ain't do those things, okay? I did not do those things, but bitch, because I wasn't no snitch, okay? But yeah, they went down and said something to Miss Blake, and if you remember Miss Blake, okay? Bitch, Miss Blake had her out there in that hallway, and she was talking to her. Next thing you know, Miss Ford came back up in that classroom and she said, I'm the head bitch in charge. You up here want to talk to this motherfucker like this? I'm the motherfucker that... I said, oh my God, bitch. Who you talking to? We're kids. That's how it was. But see, these kids these days, bitch, y'all will cuss out anybody. Y'all don't have no goddamn decorum. You don't have no fucking respect because your parents up here letting you do any and every fucking thing. And yes, I'm here for giving the kids freedom to do this and not having such a tight rein and a tight leash on the kids, whatever. But when it gets to a point where it comes down to fucking disciplining your kids and you just tell them to stop or whatever, fuck that gentle parenting shit, bitch. Bring back fucking ass whoopings. Okay? Bring back fucking ass whoopings. Because I guarantee you, I don't give a fuck how much you mess your ass up. Bitch, I ain't out here fucking around on no adult. Okay, I'm an adult. I ain't beating nobody ass. I ain't being disrespectful to nobody. Okay? My mama told me one time and I said that was enough. Okay? I got my ass whooped a couple of times and that was enough. Alright? I'm a good fucking human being. I'm a good goddamn citizen. I'm respectful. I respect my goddamn elders. Now, if they come at me wrong, I'll come at their ass wrong. Same energy. But at the same time, what happened to stay in you're a child, so stay in a child's place. You taunting this woman, you bullying this woman, you bullying her kids, and then you want to touch the kid, and you touch this woman, and you fighting her for fucking what? And you recording it. And you thought that you was going to get away with this, Bright Elementary? You thought you was going to get away with this? Then you got one of the fucking aunties who look like she around the same goddamn age as these dumb little kids up online basically making fun of the woman. Making fun of the woman. And I'm sitting here like, baby girl, I just want you to know they gonna find your ass. The city is pissed. And I am so proud that they not letting this shit stand. Okay? I don't want to hear any apology to us. I don't need a fucking public apology to us. Okay? You need to go and publicly apologize to that woman. Go to her fucking home and apologize to that woman and her fucking kids. Okay? That lady that put that post up on Facebook, oh, my daughter is respectful and she gets straight A's and she this and she that, and she don't need to prove nothing to y'all. The only person that needs to be apologized to is that lady and blah, 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 blah. Bitch, shut the fuck up. Just from that post that you posted, bitch, I know exactly the reason why your daughter said, let me go ahead and get a lick in or two. Let me tell you something. Given that this is Chicago, like they want to say, them kids don't know how fortunate that they are. Because what if that woman would have pulled out a weapon? What if a couple of them kids wouldn't have came home in the same piece that they went to school in? What if them kids wouldn't have came home at all? One day you're going to roll up on the wrong one because you want to think you all big and bad. You want to think you grown or whatever. And you're going to get dealt grown-ass consequences. I really feel like the motherfuckers need to be all in juvie, okay? They need to be punished some way, severity like that. Fuck a goddamn suspension. Fuck detention. No, charge they ass with something. And charge they mamas. Charge they daddies. If they got this. And I even hate to fucking say that because that just sounds so, but, yeah. All these motherfuckers is products of their environments. Okay? That's just what it is. You don't know better because you're not being taught better. Terrible. Fucking terrible. Fucking terrible. Sickle cell, bitch, and do you know? And let me tell you something. I was pissed off when they said that she was possibly pregnant. I said, oh my God, y'all trying to beat the goddamn baby out of her? That's fucked up. But then when I found out that she actually had sickle cell, I got even more pissed, okay? Because that woman has been going through a lifetime of fucking pain. And 9 out of 10, shit's probably a fucking miracle that she's still alive because sickle cell anemia ain't no fucking joke. You saw every time Tion from fucking TLC be talking about her situation. I'll never forget looking at that behind the music, and she was talking about that one time they was on tour and she had a sickle cell anemia attack. And she said everything on her body was hurting down to her eyelids, bitch. Girl, can you imagine? Can you imagine? And you want to bully this woman and her child? Somebody gonna say something. It was the kids that was recording. I don't give a fuck who was recording. Where was the people where somebody should have had decency enough to call the cops? Okay? I know we don't be fuck with cops, but bitch, in that moment, call the goddamn cops. Or pull them bitches off. Because somebody should have popped up. Where's the adults at? Baby, the adults should have came outside and started throwing them motherfuckers, okay? And don't get mad when your child get touched by an adult after they did some shit like this to an adult, okay? Like I said, you want to be a fucking grown-ass child and you want to act like an adult, so baby, we're going to treat you like one, okay? You're going to get them adult-ass consequences. And 9 out of 10, I won't be surprised if I hear about a couple of them doing some other shit and getting in even worse trouble, especially that Kamaya girl, okay? The lying bitch, all right? I'm sorry, y'all. If you feel some type of way that I said this shit about them kids, I don't give a goddamn. Because if you saw the video, you understand the goddamn anger. And I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all got kids too, and you would be out there swinging, okay? You would be out there swinging on these little motherfuckers, all right? Because I don't play. Oh, Lord have mercy, goddamn it, bitch. This is why I can't have kids. Baby, this is why I can't have kids, because I just know I'll probably be in jail. And where my kids going to be at? Where my kids going to be at? Why are you in jail? I fucked the bitch up because they said something about my kid to her face. Who did? Some little bitch. Yes, that's me. My attitude just would get me fucked up. Because one thing about it, two things for sure, I was going to protect the mode for sure, okay? And that my child would have been one of the ones in there, oh, that little motherfucker ass would have been grass, bitch, okay? I'm sorry. Fuck all of that. Then we get this whole situation Because I remember seeing this before it even made it to Twitter. Again, y'all got to get on TikTok because all of this shit be on TikTok first. Okay. The woman who was in the hospital and she was about to give birth, and that white nurse, Lacrissa, whatever the fuck her name is, was sitting there, the redhead bitch. That woman, I ain't never hear somebody scream in such agony and pain and have no reaction from the people that's around her. Mind you, her mother is recording for evidence. And I understand why the mother was being calm, because we need to have two calm heads, at least one. Because her getting upset and doing all that probably wouldn't have made the situation better. It would have probably made it worse than what it was already is. So kudos to the mother for keeping her cool. And to have to sit there while her daughter was going through the pain that she was going through, because she was in very active labor, okay? She is screaming in pain, and for that nurse to have no fucking reaction and talking about, I need to get this information and asking, I ain't never seen nobody do no shit like that. Anytime I seen somebody getting birth or whatever, they just go ahead and take them to labor and delivery and they get them hooked up to stuff, and then they start doing all of that shit. Maybe I'm wrong, because they didn't do that to my mama. They had my mama hooked up to everything, okay? They went on ahead and put her in the room and all that shit. And then, they start filling out that paperwork when everything got settled. But, no. And then come the fuck to find out, the lady gonna say something, we can't do nothing. Did she say something like, we can't do nothing until, like, she get the paperwork filled out, and then gonna say something, do you know your due date? Come to find out, the girl, the woman that was in pain and that was in active labor, she was supposed to be induced, I think, the day before or a couple of days before that. So they already knew that she was coming. They called and let her know. Okay? Why she wound up having that baby 12 minutes later? Every time that lady said, it's in my ass. Now, when I first heard it, I said, girl, what? But when she stood up in that after the wheelchair and she huddled over the wheelchair, she was bearing down over that wheelchair. When she said it's in my ass, I said, yeah, that lady is ready. She is ready to push. The baby is ready to come out. And you have no fucking what the fuck? Then you have this woman. Now, they're saying that she's from Chicago, but she was out there in Indiana at Franciscan Health Crown Point, Indiana, whatever hospital. Fuck them, okay? She was a different situation. No, same situation, but she wasn't as loud. She was trying to calm herself. She is literally in active labor, and you see it in her face. She's trying to breathe. They told her, bitch, you got to get the fuck up out of here because you're only 3 centimeters dilated. Mind you, she had been there for hours. Nobody had took any information or anything from her for that long time, and then gonna tell her because you're only 3 centimeters dilated, you have to get the fuck up out of there. Mind you, at this moment in time where she's leaving, you can clearly tell that them contractions is coming back to fuck to back to back to back. Okay? And you gonna tell her to leave. She gets in the car with her husband. 8 minutes after they fucking leave that goddamn hospital or was told to leave, she had the baby on the side of the fucking road in the truck. I just saw the news conference. I want them to sue. Because when people think that medical racism is not real or that we're past it, look at these two examples. When you want to understand exactly why Black women especially have high mortality rates, death rates when it comes to them giving birth, this is why. Medical racism, neglect, medical neglect. They don't give a fuck about us. This is why people don't trust. This is why Black folks don't trust the doctors. We need them, but we can't trust them to give us the care that we need. That's why we got to have somebody to advocate for us. That is fucked up. Okay, I think our girl got fired. Mind you, she had other incidences on her. And they found another video of that bitch doing the same goddamn thing to somebody else. Oh my God, it's just really I'm so mad, y'all. Like, what is going on? We just want to exist. We ain't messing with nobody, bitch. We just want to chill just like y'all. What the fuck is happening? I don't get it, girl. I don't get it. What did we ever do? What did we ever do, bitch? Because I ain't do shit. Fuck you mean? And then let me give a little update. Remember when I told y'all last week about that Indiana man who shot that lady through the door because she went to the wrong door? Bitch, they finally charging his ass, okay? They charging his ass. He's 63 years old. No, 62 years old. And his name is Kirk Anderson. And you want to know what pissed me the fuck off? Because this is the first time in a long time that I've seen somebody who has the name Kurt and spelled it just like my uncle's. Because that's my uncle's name. C-U-R-T, bitch. And I was just like... And you up here shooting people for what? Mind you, they was trying to use that stand your ground law, right? Because Indiana is a stand your ground state, okay? But the police said absolutely the fuck not, because there was no immediate danger. That woman and her husband came up to that door, knocked on the door, rang the doorbell or whatever, thought that they was at the house that they was supposed to be at to do their job. Clean, okay? They was supposed to clean the house. Came to the wrong house, and instead of just asking who are you, oh no, you're at the wrong residence, that's a couple of blocks down or 2 houses down, bitch, you just automatically just pulled out a gun and you shot right through your door at this woman. Yeah, put that bitch under the jail. Put him under the jail, okay? He don't deserve nothing. Put him under the jail. And since we doing some more updates, remember the DoorDash girl I told y'all about? The one that wanted to cry that she was sexually assaulted. Okay. Now I need people to understand. That woman was not sexually assaulted. Okay. And you have to understand that rules are different in each city or state. And in this particular city in New York, I told you, she was going to get charged. And she put all the evidence out there, and she made it so easy for her to get charged and not him. Okay? Because all she had to do was sit her food, or the food that he ordered, sit it on the porch and walk the fuck away. Now, you coming up to the door, and let's say that door was open according to her, and you saw what you saw, and you wanted to take a photo or a video as evidence, you take that photo and you take that video and you send it to DoorDash. And if you feel like there's some more danger going on and that this motherfucker probably done this shit before, which I truly believe that he has, you send it to the police. That was not a reason for you to get online and to post it without knowing if it was okay to post it. Because not only did she post it, she put his name out or she doxed him. That's why she got deactivated from DoorDash. They said because you put his address and all that shit up out there. That's why she got doxed. I mean, well, not doxed, but deactivated off of DoorDash. And DoorDash said, no, we not going to keep her money. Of course she's going to get her money. But yeah, she's deactivated off of us because she violated their rules. All right? And so it was a whole bunch of debating about whether or not she was sexually assaulted and all this stuff. You know, sexually assaulted, I would thought that meant that he pulled her up in there and tried to force himself on her. That man didn't touch her. That man didn't acknowledge her because allegedly the man was fucking drunk on the couch. And yeah, his pants was down. He's a fucking creep. He had a lewd act going on, and it really wasn't, it was a lewd situation, but he was inside his own house. She didn't have to go anywhere near him. So how were you sexually assaulted? Look up the definition of what sexually assaulted mean, okay? And to scream all of that and to say that you didn't go into that man's house and, you know, you got people still, you know, that was on her side and all this stuff. And I'm sitting here like, you can call her out for doing something wrong and putting herself in a position to get charged, and also call him out for being a fucking creep like I did. Because at the end of the day, I feel as though, yeah, he needs to be put on a list, because how are you getting that drunk, quote unquote, if you really were drunk, that you pass out and your pants is down behind your legs, between down, and you're bucket ass naked, but you ordering food. I know sometimes we drunk and order food, but never be bucket ass naked ordering food. And my dick and my pussy's out, and my door is open. But then come to fuck to find out, I can see if he would have got up, and if he, would have started playing with himself in front of her and all of that stuff, then it'd be another story. The man didn't move 1 inch. He was passed out on the couch, allegedly. Okay? But then the police department comes out and says, it was reported that a male DoorDash customer had been nude inside his residence when a DoorDash delivery driver dropped off a food order. An investigation was initiated by the Oswego Police Department, during which it was discovered that the delivery driver had took a video of the nude male. The video, along with the subsequent investigation, indicates that the male was incapacitated and unconscious on the couch due to alcohol consumption. Police said the video was taken from inside. Well, let me take that back. Police said the video was taken from outside the residence, and it was posted on social media by the driver, where the police said it drew significant attention. The man cooperated with the investigation. They did not find that a sexual assault occurred, they said in the release. The girl has been charged with second-degree unlawful surveillance and 1 count of first-degree dissemination of unlawful surveillance image. Both are felony charges. Mind you, they also said that they have ring footage of the whole incident. And if they didn't have ring footage, the girl probably wouldn't have got charged. But since they got the ring footage, that's why she got charged. Because what she posted, you could twist that to mean anything and say, oh no, the door really was open, and, I didn't go inside, or, this happened and he just landed and he acted like this, whatever. They got the whole goddamn ring footage from once the whole incident started, when she got up on the porch to when she left. And that man didn't move, not one time. Be careful what the fuck you post. Because, yeah, all she needed to do, put that food down, and if she wanted to take a picture for the safety of other people, take a picture, take a video, send it to DoorDash, and send it to the police, and let them know that this is what you encountered. You ain't have to bring that shit to the internet until the investigation was over with. Then you bring it to the internet and be like, be fucking aware, okay? Beware. But yeah, that was just an update on that. And I honestly don't trust the dude. I don't trust the dude, but hey, what can you do at this point? Because ain't no telling how many times he has done that before. I don't feel like that's the first time that he's done some shit like that. I don't. And I feel like it probably will do it again. Moving on from that, another update. Remember the singer David? And didn't I bring that up last week and say what the fuck happened to that? Baby, he is being considered to be a suspect in that 15-year-old girl. Let me take that back. 14-year-old girl, Celeste, because she was 14 when she passed. Her death. Remember, they found her body in his Tesla, chopped up. Okay? So basically, what they're saying is that the 20-year-old singer most likely had help dismembering and disposing that girl's body. He has not been found any charges against yet. He has not been arrested. And then they said at one point that he has not been cooperative, but then his people saying that he has been cooperative or whatever. Yeah, go ahead and arrest him, because I just feel like at this point, he and his whole circle, they knew what the fuck was going on. They knew she was underage. And this is just very typical of what we have been seeing when you see these men who get to a particular status and they have a whole ring of people that are working with them to keep their shit in order so that they won't get caught. Case in point, the nigga that y'all can't let go, R. Kelly. This seems similar, okay? But hey, Yeah, go ahead and charge him with something because I'm pretty sure he had something to do with it. Moving on from that, um, okay. Megan Thee Stallion and that Milagro Blarga, the girl who working with Tory Lanez, yeah, their court situation started 3 days ago. Okay. Now, Tory did try to do an appeal, and I believe that was his last appeal or something to try to get out or get a new trial. It was denied. And for those that want to say, oh, but Megan lied, do you know that the defense that they put up to the judge was saying that she knew that there was a person in the car, that he was in the car with a gun, so basically she should have ducked. So basically, yeah, I shot her ass. She should have known, and it's her own fault that she got shot because you should have known I would have had a gun, and therefore, bitch, duck. But I'm pretty sure it's still gonna be people that say, "Oh, that bitch still lying. That bitch still lying." Okay. And if she was lying so much, how come he won't take up and because you know he's supposed to be at this trial too? He won't. He won't show up. He won't respond. And he said basically he don't give a fuck because he got money and he'll eat the charge. He'll eat the fine. They finding him in contempt. They finding the lawyer in contempt. And so this is what I'm saying. You go so hard for a motherfucker putting out all this false information on his behalf to make him look good. He still goes to jail. He loses his appeals. Now you're on trial for spreading false information, purposely trying to hurt a person that you don't know and you don't have any ties to. And you make it something that did not even happen or involve you, a personal situation. And the person that could possibly help you won't help you. That's crazy. Because then if he do say something, he'll have to get up there and tell the truth as to how he know this girl, how long they known each other, and the whole truth of everything will come out, how they was in cahoots about spreading the false information. Okay? That's just basically what it is. And then she basically like, she not even 100% that Tory was telling the truth. And she was just going off of the fact that some of the information that was coming out was shaky. Okay. But if it was shaky and then all of the other proofs start coming out, why did you keep on going so hard like this lady did something to you? And then you talk about something where if it comes out and that she truly did get shot and all of this or whatever, I ain't got nothing to do but bow down. Let me just read what she said. She would feel terrible if the 2020 shooting unfolded the way the jury found. I know Megan was hurt. I hate that she was hurt. Lie, lie, lie. I truly do. You have to understand from my point of view. I come from a negative area where so many people go to jail. Not everyone is guilty. She went on to explain her perspective, adding, so when a black man was being accused of something and details were shaky, if a situation presented itself that made it 100% clear, all I could do is bow down and apologize. My thing of it is, stuff was presented in court, and you still continued. You still continued. Over what? A motherfucker that ain't finna have your back. That's why y'all gotta be careful the way that y'all go so hard for these celebrities. Because at the end of the day, you can go so hard for them and do shit out of character because you thinking that you're taking up for them and you're protecting them, but they're not going to protect you in the long run if something happened to you where you need to go to court or you got to get arrested because you went too far, because you didn't say something, okay, or you didn't did something. It's going to be like they never knew you, okay? So be careful. Be careful. Don't get too deep up into this shit because at the end of the day, it's not affecting your life what these celebrity people do. Let them have they fucked up shit. Don't fuck up yours for somebody that ain't gonna do nothing for you. All right? Please. Put all that stand shit to the side. This for everybody. I don't give a fuck who you like. Be careful. Okay? I don't want to see y'all asses going to jail over some shit because y'all done took it so goddamn serious. Like, it ain't serious. Can we just go back to having fun? Moving on from that, Smokey Robinson. Man. Why is it that it was 4 women that came out to accuse him? R-word, sexual assault, all of this stuff. You know the story. People that work for him, right? And most of them were not English speaking, probably immigrants and things of that such, right? Then another woman came out. Okay, that was 5. Now a man has come out. Oh my God. I said, what is going on? I'm so disappointed. And it's like, you're innocent until proven guilty, right? Then it's like, you want to believe victims, right? But at the same time, it's just like, you're upset that you have allowed yourself, that they have allowed themselves to get in a predicament where this can even be alleged or brought up. And I know it's some twisted ass people that try to do shit to scam people out of money and all this stuff. But these motherfuckers don't even know each other. Oh, Lord have mercy. He said, the man said that Smokey once grabbed his hand and tried to force it upon his erect penis. He was faced sexual battery. The new filing comes as 5 Jane Does are already suing. Well, 4 was already suing him, and then another one came out, and now it's a John Doe. Okay, who is seeking to join the case. According to the male accuser, he began working with the Robinsons around 2013 at their Chatsworth home. He claimed that Smokey repeatedly came outside in his underwear while he cleaned cars and fondled his erect penis in clear view. Now see, that's what I expected to have happened with the DoorDash shit. That ain't what happened, bitch. What the fuck you doing that shit while I'm right here? You know what I found weird? I'll get to that in a second. He claims, he says that Smokey Robinson's sexual arousal was vivid and unmistakable during these incidences. He alleges that his dick was big or something. He alleges that the behavior escalated in 2022 when Smokey grabbed his hand without consent and attempted to force it into his erect penis. The Robinsons allegedly fired him afterwards. Let me tell you something. It was a whole bunch of shit going down in Motown, and I'm pretty sure it was a whole bunch of shit that was going down back in the day. Okay, motherfuckers got away with a lot of shit, so you can't I don't put nothing past anybody. Them green, I don't give a fuck how green your eyes are, okay? But let me tell you something. Smokey, you gonna have to deal with this. You gonna have to deal with this, okay? Cause this don't make no goddamn sense, man. You know, and mind you, 80 plus years old, baby, they said age ain't nothing but a fucking number, bitch. You done did this shit to me, allegedly. You know, hey, let me tell you something. You wanna know what I feel like? I feel straight dudes that sit around and they jerk off together, or they watch porn together. That's weird to me. Watching your homeboy fuck a bitch, that's weird to me. And I'm gonna just leave that shit at that. That's so random, but that's weird to me. That's weird to me. Okay. Usher. Usher is suing Brian Michael Cox. I said, oh my God, bitch, the world is really burning down. Because I said, oh my God, what the fuck is going on? What do you mean Usher is suing Brian Michael D. Cox? Okay? They make music together. They make hits together. Legendary producer, songwriter, and then the entertainer, the singer, the dancer. They're besties. That's a combo that's undeniable. And now all of a sudden they're breaking up. Brian Michael Cox said, hold up. At the end of the day, he got fucked over, I got fucked over. And so therefore, I understand exactly why he coming out with this lawsuit. And that ain't touching our friendship. We intact, bro. Who scares me? We intact. I said, okay. You sure about that? Because you want to hear what's going to happen? Let me read to y'all. He said he taking one of his longtime producers and several business associates and their attorneys to court, claiming that he has not been repaid in full. Pay people they goddamn money, okay, for a 7-figure loan that he made for a Buckhead restaurant that never opened. Atlanta, y'all, one thing y'all gonna do is open up a restaurant or a hookah spot. That's one thing I never do. Okay, a restaurant, baby, they say, I'd be scared about opening up a business. First of all, it's like, what would I open up a business about? And then it got to be something that's in demand, like something that people is actually going to want to gravitate to, want to come visit over and over and over again. And they say when you open up a new business, whether it's restaurants and all this stuff, the majority of them fail right in the first year or so. Okay, so, you really taking a risk. But he said, according to the lawsuit filed on Friday in Fulton County, Usher Raymond, USHERRAYMONT. Now, baby, tell me what you want to do with me. You got me feeling like Jodeci. Anyway, it's suing producer Brian Michael Cox, entertainment figures Keith Thomas, and Charles Hughes. Who the hell is Keith Thomas? Let me look him up. Pause. Keith. Oh, he a white man. There you go right there. Okay. And Charles Hughes, entertainment lawyer Alcide from True Blood, Henri. Okay. Cox has worked on some of Usher's most successful records, including Burn and You Got It Bad, while Thomas and Hughes are also involved in the entertainment industry. Court documents state that the group approached Usher last year with a proposal to open a restaurant in a lounge called Homage ATL. The plan involved buying property at 3102 Piedmont Road in Buckhead, the former site of the Ocean Prime restaurant, which closed in 2015. Usher allegedly declined to become an investor, but agreed instead to loan the group $1.7 million. Bitch, give me my money plus interest. I want 2.5, okay? The lawsuit says he wired the funds to a trust account in January to be used for the purpose of the property. Months later, the complainant alleges that the property still had not been bought. Over the summer, that money is gone, Usher. I just want you to understand that. Over the summer, Usher asked that the loan be repaid. He says he received $1 million in August, but has not been paid the remaining $700,000. The suit further claims that Henri acknowledged that returning the rest of the money was not that easy because the funds had been used for other purposes. Didn't I just say they ain't got that money? You probably ain't gonna get it. You're gonna have to be forced. Usher is asking for, I know that's fucking right, I'm asking for $4.9 million in damages, or $700,000 for each of the 7 claims listed in the lawsuit. The legal action comes as Usher continues to receive major recognition in Atlanta. Okay, that's cool or whatever. Bitch, get at me and his money. You was so easy to take my money and knowing damn well that you wasn't gonna use that shit where it needs to be used, and now you want to come to me and say, well, what had happened was my ass. I ain't say what had happened was when I gave you the money. You better what had happened was put it in my account. Okay? Now your ass, you only had to pay $700,000. You could have got on a goddamn payment plan or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Made some type of fucking arrangement. Now you got to pay 4.9. Now, if you can't come up with the 700,000, then what the fuck you coming up with the 4.9 million? Now you done got yourself assed out, bitch. Okay? You on your Timmy Bernay shit. That dumb bitch. Oh, I'm so sorry. You know she got a lawyer now. For those that's been carrying on and keeping track of the Timmy Bernay, she got a lawyer now, and they gonna appeal that judgment. Girl, get the fuck out of here. Why you ain't had no lawyer in the beginning? What? Maybe the judgment wouldn't have been so high. You still would have lost. But maybe the judgment wouldn't have been so high. Okay, I'm just saying. Anyway, moving on. Pay that man his money. Former NBA guard turned podcaster. What is his name? Beverly, the one that was on the podcast with old boy that was talking about Megan Thee Stallion, talking about pussy is ruining Klay Thompson game, and Klay Thompson has to check their asses. And as soon as that shit happened, bitch, he get arrested. The black one, he get arrested for choking out his little sister and punching her in the fucking face and all of that shit, strangling the little girl. Now let me tell you something. I understand that. Listen. What are you doing sneaking off with your little boyfriend? And why you with a little boyfriend that's 18 years old, you 15, and you sneaking off or whatever, sneaking in the house and all this stuff, and I'm catching you, okay, cool. I understand being frustrated at that, okay? But to actually put your hands on this young girl, you're a grown-ass fucking man, and you putting your hands on her that way when it did not call for that, you could have sat down and you could have talked to her, okay? But you instantly resorted to anger, and you instantly resorted to violence. And you did it. What make it even worse is because you did it to your family member. And not just a distant family member, your sister, who's going to remember this for the rest of her life. And she's probably now going to look at you differently. And ain't no telling if anything like this has ever happened before. And it probably just that, yeah, this was an escalation to the point where she had to call the 911 because she did have to go to the hospital because she did have the marks on her. And they said she had the little picky or something up in her eye. That's what you get when you've been strangled and it pops up in your eye. She has that in her eye. So he can't even lie and say that he didn't do that. What the fuck? But you want to talk about other people, girl, oh my God, putting your hands on your own family member. And what you think this gonna do? What you think that's gonna do? When y'all be doing shit like that to try to, get these girls in lines or whatever, oh, you shouldn't be out here with this, that's gonna make them run right to the motherfucker. That's not how you handle that situation. God damn it. And punched her in the fucking eye. He was booked and arrested for a felony assault. Then his lawyers, I hate when the lawyers be like, well, my client ain't had no criminal record. He clears deeply. Bitch, I don't give a fuck. The people, when they first started doing crime, their records was clean too. And then it just kept on going. You got to start somewhere, I guess. But just because you got a clean record and you love your sister deeply, you ain't love her enough that moment to not try to almost kill her. Shit. I never put my hands on. I've never put my hands on my sisters. I may have wanted to, may have thought about it, but I pushed that shit back. And speaking of throwing hands, Porsha Williams. Girl, what the fuck is going on with the housewives, bitch? BravoCon was this past weekend. She coming back from Las Vegas. It's coming out saying that she needed to be escorted and the FBI and all this stuff or whatever. I'm seeing a video of her trying to explain what happened. Basically said some passenger got irate with her, whatever. And that just basically was it. And was trying to lie and say that she got hit by the lady when the lady just knocked her own phone onto the floor and tried to blame it on Porsha and all of this shit. This is ignorant and stupid. And let me tell you something. We seen the video of her getting taken off the plane ever so calmly, like ain't nothing going on. And then you see the video that recently just came out of her actually talking to, I think, either FBI agent or whoever in the airport, explaining what was going on ever so calmly. Now let me tell y'all something. On the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, not this past episode, but the episode that came on last week when they was coming back from their little trip on the seas, okay? When Meredith, they said Meredith had went crazy on that goddamn plane and she was going at Brittany and she kept on talking all that shit and she was just losing her mind and everything or whatever. The way that they was talking about how Meredith was going crazy on that goddamn plane, I was expecting to see some shit like that. You know, Portia, the way Portia was getting escorted out, I was like, where the air marshals? Even Meredith said, bitch, if I really was doing some shit like that, they would have took me off the plane. Okay, they would have had the air marshal sit there with me and all that stuff. I really feel like they exaggerated. Okay, I really do. But at the same time, I could see Meredith going upside that girl head too. You know, because Brittany is so fucking annoying. I don't understand why she's on the show, and I will never be on her side. Okay, so if Meredith needs to cuss her ass out, go right ahead. But Portia, girl, the season ain't even started yet. We ain't even get a fucking cast photo yet. Okay, we ain't even get a trailer yet, and y'all are already cutting up. Jesus. Anyway, moving on from that, what else is going on? B2K is back. Girl, B2K be coming back every other year. And you know what I say to that? I don't give a fuck. In this economy, you need to get your money. Get your goddamn money. Now, will I be there in attendance? I don't think so. Because this is just giving them a Millennium Tour, and I've been to 3 of them already. Okay, so I don't know. And when I went to the Millennium Tour, I'm telling you this for sure. I didn't go for B2K. Okay, I didn't go for B2K. I'm sorry, I just didn't. It is what it is. But B2K, I'm glad that they was able to work out their differences. Listen, they said it's money on the lines, bitches. Let's get our shit together. Let's get this money. Let's make it happen. And they got it together. That little promo that they did for it, that was cute. I ain't even gonna hold you. That was cute. I hope the egos are checked. And I hope they are able to make it through this whole tour. And I really do hope that the tour is successful. I do. We need more shit like this. I want our black artists to really succeed. I'm loving the nostalgia tours and shit that's been going on. Bitch, let me tell you something. I tried to go look on that damn website for the New Edition and Boyz II Men and Tony Braxton. Oh, you bitches wasn't playing. What? The only seats that was available was up at top. And when I say it was only a minimum, I mean a minimum, bitch. And if I was to go onto the website right about now, I'm pretty sure those are done. Let me go check. You know, because I just got my curiosity. Because, girl, what? Hold on. And they come in February the 4th. And exactly what I said. God damn, bitch. God. Look at all this. Jess. Who the fuck? Take that child in the house. Girl, mind you, I got the window cracked. Phil gone, and see, it's just them. Mind you, that shit gonna be gone soon. Girl, listen, I don't do all the way up at the top like that, girl. I want to be able to see. If I'm gonna do something, I'll probably do a 100 seat. But see, bitch, why is it that they got seats? They selling seats behind the stage. Behind the stage? Who the fuck finna buy these seats behind the stage? Y'all dumb as shit if you do that. Okay, I thought they wrote that shit off. Let me see if it's on floor seats. No, let me see. $1,400, you got out your goddamn mind. I don't want to see it that bad. I don't need no package, bitch. I don't need no meet and greet. I met Tony before. Okay, that girl, $1,400 in this econ to me. Only one person getting that money, okay? Absolutely the fuck not. And that's a maybe. At this point, bitch. Listen, okay? When I found out that you can do shit, pay now, pay later, I said, oh my God, what was I really was paying out for real, for real. Girl, I'm gonna be putting on payment plans and shit, okay? But no, girl, I want B2K and them to be doing good. I want them to have a successful tour, okay? I want everybody to be on their P's and goddamn Q's. And I want them to get their asses up there, and I want them to... Waka Flocka gonna be on part of it. Ew. Jeremiah, he can't sing. Anne-Marie, she can't sing either, but she looks really, really good. So I'll give her a pass. Young Jock, Meet me in the trap. It's going. Young Jock had a moment, bitch. Young Jock, he ain't shit now, okay? But Young Jock had a moment, bitch, okay? Many, money, more, that minute. I know you see it. Girl, come on. I played that Young Jock album out. Okay, bitch, you couldn't tell me shit. You would have thought I was from Atlanta the way that I was repping all the Atlanta artists back in the day when the Snap era came and the Crunk era and all that shit. Lil Jon and the East Side Boys. I was out there doing Snap Your Fingers and doing the Pool Palace and all that shit. Young Bloods, okay, bitch. Come on, cherishing them, bitch, okay? Like, all of them motherfuckers used to have some shit going on. When Scrappy first came out, I really did like Lil Scrappy. Money in the Bank and you don't give a fuck, bitch. Bitch, let me tell you something. Lil Jon and the East Side Boys, One Night Stand, ain't had no business singing that shit. Ain't had no business all up in that shit, but I was, girl. I was. Them French ass boys. Okay. Pretty Rick got. Well. Now, when we say Pretty Ricky, is this including Slickum? Huh? Is this including them? Because if that's the case, which I hope he's able to do it, and I hope he's clean. All right. When did it start? They said it's the 25th. It's a 28 city tour celebrating the 25th anniversary of B2K. And then it kicks off February the 12th in South Carolina, Columbia. Okay. And it goes all the way till April. That's a cute little tour. February, March, April. February 12th. That's like 3 months. Okay, cool. Again, I really hope they're able to get it through, and I hope it's very, very successful. You know, I ain't no fucking hater, bitch. I want the niggas to win when they need to win. A nigga that needs to sit the fuck down. Oh, excuse me. Did y'all hear that shit about Burna Boy? Now, from what I'm hearing, Burna Boy ain't worth shit as it is, okay? Burna Boy was in a concert. He was doing a concert in Denver. And this girl was in the audience with her boyfriend. And she wound up dozing off for a second. He wound up stopping the whole fucking show to tell her to wake her ass up and tell the boyfriend to get her ass up out of there. And saying, I'm not going to start the show off until you get the fuck up out of there. Bitch, let me tell you something. And then there's the people that was in the show, the audience. Y'all ain't shit, okay? Because if you up here rooting for him to go ahead to tell that bitch to get out of there or tell that woman to leave or whatever, that motherfucker is showing you his true colors and what he'll do to you too. And showing that he don't respect you. Now, from what I'm gathering, the woman said that she had been going through a lot of shit mentally, dealing with the death of the father of her child. She was tired. Her boyfriend, you know, and when it comes to like the death of a child, father of the child, it's not necessarily that she still had feelings for this man, but she's probably 9 out of 10 emotionally spent because she's dealing with the emotions of her child. And then her boyfriend tried to take her out, have a good time, but then not only is she still mentally drained, thinking that this is going to be a pick-me-up, you come out fucking late. So, bitch, if I want to close my eyes for a second, I'm going to close my motherfucking eyes for a second. And because you want to know why? I paid the money to be there. And I paid the money to do whatever the fuck it is that I want to do. In that seat that I got. If I'm not bothering nobody, I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want to do, bitch. If I wanted to lay there and bring a fucking blanket and put my head on that pillow too, I'm going to do that with the money that I fucking paid for. I'm not going to get put out. You mean to tell me you couldn't bypass that and just keep on fucking giving a show? That arrogance, that ego is going to be your fucking downfall. You did that shit like, I don't even want to say that. I don't even want to say that. That was fucked up. That was fucked up. And from what I heard, he's not a good person. The people is coming out with stories. They said the man is not a good person. And they say he do have a propensity to come late to shit. Let me tell you something. When Beyonce did that shit, y'all seen how I cut that bitch up? You ain't exempt, ho. Okay? You ain't exempt. Let me tell you something. Each and every time, girl, Beyonce came to that show, late as shit. What day was it? The second time we was up at the Renaissance. Mind you, the first night it did rain, but it drizzled. It didn't thunderstorm the way that it did Cowboy Carter first night. Now that was terrible as shit. But see, on Cowboy Carter first night, just because it rained or whatever, maybe that's why her ass came out there quicker than I thought. Okay, after it rained. But this time, that second night, bitch, we was sitting out there for a minute. If they say the doors open up at 7, bitch, and the show started at 8:30, that whole ain't start till like almost 10 o'clock or after 10. I was like, oh my God, bitch, where the fuck you at? I was tired. I was spent, bitch. So if I wanted to sit down in the middle of the goddamn concert and go like this during the interlude, bitch, I'm going to do that. If I wanted to do that during one of your slow songs, bitch, I'm going to do that. And I want you to point me out. Bitch, I'd be so happy. You know me, bitch. Don't do that. Don't fucking do that. Bitch, I'm going to do what I got to do. And you're going to continue up on that goddamn stage. You're going to perform for me because that's what you're supposed to do. That's what I paid my money for. I paid my money to sit up in this seat. Now, when I sit up in the seat, I'm able to do whatever the fuck I want to do, whether I want to look at you, look at my phone, or look at my eyelids. I wish a motherfucker would stop a goddamn concert and tell me to get the fuck out when I pay my money and I'm not bothering nobody. Bitch, your head too goddamn big, motherfucker. Okay? Don't do that. Mystical ass still up in jail, bitch. They said you ain't finna get out and you are going to trial. Okay? Yeah, he up in there for he getting accused of rape and false imprisonment. He said they said he was accused in 2022 of holding a woman against her will and forcing her into sex acts, bitch. Niggas are disgusting. Niggas are disgusting. That's basically what we've been finding out, okay? And they're terrible people, all right? And what is this situation going on with En Vogue? So Salt-N-Pepa and Queen, was it Queen Latifah? No, Salt-N-Pepa got inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They were there, I believe, for Salt-N-Pepa and all that stuff, whatever, En Vogue, okay? And so, next thing you know, Rhonda, like the week after that, or a few days after that, Rhonda come out with a letter talking about some bitch, I'm gone. I said, what? What happened? Basically, she been in the group since like 2023, okay? Or I should say 2003. And you know, they said that she announced her departure from En Vogue after spending more than 2 decades with the group, and cited that a communication breakdown that left her excluded from a major performance. So she didn't even perform, and because I didn't watch the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but they did perform, but Rhonda wasn't there. And she said that while she had been approved in summer to host her own event on November 8th, she was never informed that En Vogue will also be performing that night, leaving her unable to adjust her schedule in time. That's fucked up. She said, well, now she's about to take the next steps to do what she got to do to create a freedom, do more things. New season of creativity, freedom, and contribution. That's so crazy. That's so fucked up. Bitch, y'all talk about Destiny Child's having a fucking revolving door. En Vogue is one of those groups that have revolving doors of the original members coming and leaving and coming back, because I think they said Maxine had left and came back. Rhonda, she was brought in to replace, I don't know if she replaced Dawn, but she was brought in after Dawn left. Okay. And then the last time I heard anything negative about En Vogue was the Dawn situation when she was sleeping up in her car. And they was like, she needs to come back to the group. And then Dawn was getting all up in her feelings because she was like, they wanted to celebrate the anniversary of En Vogue, but she didn't want to have it with Rhonda. So I'm thinking like they basically chose to kick Rhonda out the group and they iced her out for Dawn. Mind you, can Dawn still sing? And I hope that ain't the reason. I really hope that ain't the reason, because truth be told, they could have did some shit like New Edition did when Bobby Brown left and they had brought Johnny Gill, and then they had came all together and all of them was in the group. Okay, no member was taken away. Johnny didn't have to leave when Bobby came back or nothing like that. They could have did something like that, and I really don't feel like Dawn still got the pipes that she had, because if she still sound like how she did on R&B Divas all those years ago, if she was in a slightly better situation than she was now. But I'm not saying that that's what the issue was. I hope that's not what it was or what is going on. But that don't look right, and that's just messed up. Oh, girls, get it together. But they, no matter whoever the fuck they bring in, them harmonies be. Oh. I'll be like, God damn. I see, and then it's so baffling because I see the video right before they was rehearsing. And I don't know how old the video was. It was a black and white video. And they sounded so good together. Them one of the groups that sound like the records. Okay? After all these years, their voices have not gone. Ugh. So sad. Ooh. That's a little bitter. Hibiscus tea, bitch. Hibiscus. Did I get everything? I feel like I did. Let me look. I was about to say, if I did it, we'll discuss it in the comments. Wait, you don't even know what I got down here. Yeah, I got everything. Woohoo! I got everything, because y'all know, let me tell you something. I will put down 20 goddamn notes and only get to 10 of them and don't even realize I only got to 10 of them until I go back to look at it. And I'm like, damn, bitch, you talked for over an hour and a half and you only talked about 10 of these topics. Yeah. Anyway, let me get the fuck up off here, you guys. You enjoy yourselves. It's this weather is irritating me. Okay, because not only did I do what I did yesterday, this morning, and then was it yesterday or the day before? I wake up and all of a sudden there is a tickle in my nose. And I'm like, oh no, what's going on? I kept on sneezing and sneezing, and then my nose want to start draining all of a sudden. I said, oh bitch, now you want to loosen up and everything. What's going on? It's because the weather keeps going up and down, bitch. You don't know if it want to be cold or warm. Now it's warming the fuck back up. Last week it was like 70 some degrees outside. What the hell is going on? Okay. I had to turn my heat down. First of all, I had to turn it up. Now I had to turn it down. This is how bitches get sick in the winter. This is why flu season be here. Y'all be safe, bitch. Y'all really be safe out there. Anyway, dress accordingly. Enjoy yourself, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.